Updated, March 11, 2019. Freedom of speech includes the freedom to offend people. Brad ThorWell, if crime fighters fight crime and firefighters fight fire, what do freedom fighters fight? They never mention that part to us, do they? George Carlin. People demand freedom of speech as a compensation for the freedom of thought which they seldom use. Soren Kierkegaard. Real freedom is having nothing. I was freer when I didn't have a cent. Mike Tyson. A man may be a pessimistic determinist before lunch and an optimistic believer in the will's freedom after it. Aldous Huxley. Who is more to be pitied, a writer bound and gagged by policemen, or one living in perfect freedom who has nothing more to say? Kurt Vonnegut. Even before I knew I was gay, I knew I didn't want to have a child. I knew I didn't want to have one. I never want to have to release it from me. Listen, I love babies. I love children. And I melt when I'm around them. I also love my freedom, and I love that I can sleep at night. Ellen DeGeneres. A person is a fool to become a writer. His only compensation is absolute freedom. Roald Dahl. It is easy to believe in freedom of speech for those with whom we agree. Leo McBurns. Oh, keep fightin' for freedom and justice, beloveds, but don't you forget to have fun doing it. Lord, let your laughter ring forth. Be outrageous, ridicule the fraidy cats, rejoice in all the oddities that freedom can produce. Molly Ivins. In a completely sane world, madness is the only freedom. J. G. Ballard. The internet's like one big bathroom wall with a lot of people who anonymously can say really mean things. It's fine. I believe in freedom of speech and I think people should think what they want, but I don't care to hear it. Zoe Deschanel. Me father described this tall lady who stands in the middle of the New York harbor, holding high a torch to welcome people seeking freedom in America. I instantly fell in love. Yakov Smirnoff. Truth will set you free, but first it will piss you off. Gloria Steinem. You have freedom when you're easy in your harness. Robert Frost. If my last name were Ohm, I'd want my first name to be Fred. Fred Ohm isn't worth fighting for, but an extra E is. Jared Kemp's. Free speech means the right to shout theater in a crowded fire. Abby Hoffman. Freedom begins the moment you realize someone else has been writing your story and it's time you took the pen from his hand and started writing it yourself. Bill Moyers. It's as difficult to free fools from the chains they revere. Voltaire. I disapprove of what you say, but I will defend to the death your right to say it. S.G. Talentire. I suggest to my students that they write under a pseudonym for a week. That allows young men to write as women, and women as men. It allows them a lot of freedom they don't have ordinarily. Joyce Carol Oates. Freedom is the right to write the wrong words. Patti Smith. Tried to contain myself, but I escaped. Gary Paulson. I'm single because I was born that way. Mae West. What's real freedom? Real freedom is being able to not have my way and still be just as happy as if I did. Joyce Meyer. War is peace. Freedom is slavery. Ignorance is strength. George Orwell. Comfortable shoes and the freedom to leave are the two most important